All right, welcome back. We're joined now by the parish president of Terrebonne Parish, Mr. Gordy Dove. And John Mills with FEMA has agreed to sit up here and we're going to have a good little discussion about trailers and different things of that nature. John, first of all, thank you for staying on. We appreciate it.
Sure, thanks for continuing to have me, and good to meet you, sir.
Yeah.
Good to meet you, John.
All right, so Gordy, we're talking with John about different things. Trailers, what's your understanding? Give me an update on trailers, Gordy, if you could, for Terrebonne Parish with FEMA.
Well, the parish, Terrebonne Parish and GOSEF into a sort of collaboration to get 1,500 travel trailers to Terrebonne Parish, and some of them being put in front of homes and some of them are being put in a congregate. And that is very, very close. We don't have a definitive date, but it's very close. And as soon as we get them, and like I said, this is the GOSEF, which is the state and the local government. Of course, it was approved by FEMA through to GOSEF on reimbursement. Of course, GOSEF has to get reimbursed on that amount of trailers because you have other parishes getting them too. And you're talking hundreds of millions of dollars worth of trailers. Right. And as soon as we get them, they have hired a company, Thompson, which is about a public record. Thompson is a out-of-town firm, that I'm familiar with, but I'm not familiar with them. They don't work for us, but they're a pretty big firm that does them. They will be installing them, and Aptum is the engineering firm that does site locations and does monitoring on behalf of GOSEF. That was all done under procurement, under federal guidelines of procurement, since the state is looking to get reimbursed through FEMA.
How many people in Terrebonne would you say need a trailer? Now, need and want are two different things. So need a trailer.
Martin, we have about 3,300 applications. That doesn't mean they qualify, but that's who's applied. So a lot of people haven't applied yet. So I'm saying in the neighborhood of 4,000.
Okay. John, can that be done?
Well, everybody's working together on this, and so as Gordy mentioned, it's a lot of times the state and the local parish working together can bring in and install some of these faster than the federal government can. So what the federal government has been doing is rapidly providing money. We've already approved more than 500,000 households in Louisiana, and as I've said, we've approved about 29,500 households in Terrebonne Parish and provided about $74.5 million in grants to those households for rental assistance, home repair, and other needs. And then in addition to that, about 1,100 households who've been displaced from Terrebonne Parish are staying in hotels right now. So they're able to shelter in those hotels. So between giving people money so they can rent a place to live, giving people money so they can make some basic home repairs, and then paying for hotels for people who've been displaced, we're helping thousands of people within the parish while Gordy and folks in Terrebonne Parish work with the state to bring in some temporary housing that is potentially reimbursable through FEMA as an emergency protective measure under that public assistance program that FEMA has. FEMA then is also working with the state to identify the need, and we're conducting pre-placement interviews with survivors who may be eligible to receive housing that is brought in by the federal government and FEMA later on. So there's a lot of those moving pieces taking place, in addition to all the work of charities, nonprofits, and faith-based organizations doing a lot of work to help restore people's homes now, so that actually may reduce the need for housing to be brought in if you can use your existing housing stock, apartments, and existing properties that can be repaired.
What's the timeline on the trailer? I see people still in tents. So what would you say would be a good date to expect the trailers to come in?
And I think Gordy had some information about that in terms of a timeline. FEMA has some information, but I wanted to go to the parish president first.
Is that through GOSEF, Gordy?
Yeah, see, Martin, you have different programs. Like he was just explaining the FEMA program. The one I'm explaining is GOSEF in Terrebonne Parish local government plan. And even though we plan, the state plans to have it done through, get reimbursed through FEMA, that's why they went through actually a quick procurement procedure. We're expecting them here pretty quick. I mean, we won't, till I see them, I don't want to lay a date down, but it's right around the corner. and we will immediately be bringing them out to homes. They've got someone lined up, like I say, to hook the electrical, the plumbing, and of course the water. And they're going to make sure they put a pad to get it in there. And
And they will put it on the site of where they live. They won't make them like move up to a general, for lack of a better word, like a campground. They'll put them at site.
But the ones in apartments have no choice because
Right.
they don't have a lot. So that's the reason of the encampment. Most people want it at their home. They can rebuild their home, especially if they don't have insurance. And like I said, there's a lot of FEMA money out there. You even have an SBA grant you can get that's residential. Most people don't know about. We have been trying through our emergency operations center we're putting out applications for FEMA all over the place for those who don't have computers. And we've really been trying to educate the public and get them the information so they can apply one way or the other. And that's kind of been, our job, and I think it's been coming along pretty good. We do have 3,300 applications in. Now, what FEMA's also doing is they're going door to door, is what I understand, and evaluating these homes. Now, we went ahead and got a list of names. We got a list of names that we are going to cross-index with FEMA, and it's going to make it easier for us to know exactly who gets them right away.
The trailers, all right, so if 30,000 people apply for FEMA aid, let's say 3,000 qualify for a trailer. Let's just pick a number. How's the trailer work? Can they keep the trailer? Is it theirs or is it not theirs? Or what's the deal with the trailer?
And I think that's some of the misunderstanding as well that we've been hearing. So on one hand, we know that Terrebonne Parish and other parishes are working with the state as a sheltering option to, at the lead of the state, bringing in some manufactured housing. FEMA also is working with the state to bring in housing that the feds are bringing in. But the eligibility is determined on a case-by-case basis, and whether your home is habitable is a key factor. If your home is habitable, you would likely not be eligible to receive housing that FEMA brings in because you have a habitable home. And we're most concerned about helping people get into a temporary habitable dwelling. And it's great if that's their home. The eligibility generally is determined on a month-to-month basis as well. It can vary by disaster, but typically to remain in a manufactured home that FEMA would bring in, you would need to maintain that eligibility on a month-to-month basis and stay in touch with FEMA, and FEMA will be checking on all of the applicants who are eligible for housing.
All right, and Gordy, that's your understanding?
Yes, exactly. And I did ask the question with a FEMA official, and is there a way for whoever has a trailer to end up with it? And the only way, and I said, not saying this is going to happen, FEMA would have to donate it to like Catholic charities, and Catholic charities would donate it back, and that's on an if basis. That's the only way. FEMA cannot give anyone some paid for by the government directly, is the way I understand it. And I'm not saying the other way is going to happen, but I'm saying if you do get a trailer, take care of it. There is a possibility that you could end up with it at the end of the day. You may or may not, but that question was asked, and they can do it if FEMA so chooses to donate it to some type of charity, and the charity would donate it back to the person.
And John, is that your understanding?
And so the state is in charge, and FEMA listens very closely to requests that we get from the state. And the state is getting a lot of requests from parishes. And
So the state makes the decision for what you'll donate?
The state, the state can request a donation program, and that can vary how it would be done. I don't want to get ahead of the state by any means, but I don't have anything that I would disagree with that the parish president has said. What I will tell you, though, is that a lot of people are going through a very traumatic time right now, and that's why we want to continue to hear from people, in particular those who had a home and then Ida hit, and now they don't have a home, and they're facing homelessness because they don't have insurance, because they don't have anywhere else to go, and their home has been destroyed. And so we want to hear from people, especially those in that situation. So if your home was destroyed, please stay in touch with FEMA. Let us know what your needs are, and we'll be working with the state in support of the state and local parishes about how we can best help those survivors with their housing needs.
Okay, and Gordon, anything
And
you'd like
on
to add?
another note, if anyone, in the viewing audience doesn't know how to get in touch with FEMA, we have applications for FEMA all over the parish, but feel free to call the parish EOC and they can direct them on how to get in touch with FEMA. They have all the lines, the, Emergency Operations Center.
Or go to the Civic Center too, huh?
Or you can go to Civic Center, they'll tell you. I mean, we could definitely get them to where they can get with FEMA. And he said earlier, they've given out quite a few $1 million through applications to this day. I forget the number.
74.5 million.
Okay, is that what it is now? Yeah, it was. Yeah, I know it's climbing daily, and so please find a FEMA app, get away in the FEMA, go borrow someone's computer if you don't have it, but get your application in. Come to the parish, come to the EOC. We will help you get your application in.
Which I gotta say, John's been pretty transparent with us from FEMA, so I gotta work that into my conversation. John, with about 2 minutes left, anything we missed that we can bring to the people?
I want people to stay in touch with us, so call us at 800-621-3362. So that's 1-800-621-3362. You can do it online at disasterassistance.gov, disasterassistance.gov. If you're in Terrebonne Parish, you can visit our disaster recovery center that's set up at the Civic Center in Houma. And then we also have locations in Lafourche Parish at the LPG Government Complex in Raceland and at the Go Pass site in Golden Meadow. If you reported that your damage is unknown, get back in touch with FEMA and update your application about what the status of your primary residence, what your house is. If it's destroyed, make sure we know. If you reported that your home was inaccessible, maybe the water was up, now the water's back down again. Get back in touch with FEMA, update your application about the condition of your home. We want to know specifically, can you live in your home? Is it safe for you to live in your home? If it's not safe, if your home is uninhabitable because of damage caused by Hurricane Ida, let us know. By law, we can't duplicate insurance payments, but we may be able to provide you with grant money, and we've already provided more than $700 million across southeast Louisiana and more than $134 million across Terrebonne and Lafourche parishes, and as you mentioned, about $74.5 million so far just in Terrebonne Parish to homeowners and renters.
Well, and one thing with 30 seconds left, I'm pretty happy that Lafourche and Terrebonne almost equal New Orleans. So that tells me a lot. Thank y'all for being here, John. We appreciate it. We'll take a short break. We're going to have more with the parish president of Terrebonne Parish. Don't go away.